adventure.
This one entitled Happy Spring. And as we can see on the label, with a little bit of the green leafage, all in front of a baby blue sky. So there's nothing left to do but to jump right into it. Let's give this one a sniff. Wow. All right. So we see tulips on the label, and guess what? This smells like tulips. As we all probably know, tulips are fragrant, and what makes them sort of unique is that if you smell certain tulips, they'll have a stone fruit quality to them. Think apricot, peaches, nectarines. So what I think Yankee Candle has done here is manipulated the tulip aromatic by utilizing many different ingredients, because I'm getting several floral notes and I am getting that fruity note, specifically the nectarine. But on the floral side to this, I have to mention dandelion. And I'm not just talking about the dandelion petals or even just the stems. Inside of the stems is that milky substance, or dandelion milk. There's that very powerful, in-your-face dandelion aroma, and if there's any aroma that's going to remind you of spring, it's certainly dandelion. I'm picking up on a very pungent gardenia, a very soft lilac, and a very clean rose petal, and also a fresh, clean, floral white musk. And when I say musk or muskiness, in this case, I'm not talking about masculine muskiness. I'm talking about more of what we would find in lotion-based products, or just think of baby powder. So let's stop right there for a second. We said fruitiness of nectarine, we said florals, and now I'm saying a floral clean musk. I can't tell you how many women's perfumes are going to have those three components. So with that said, I can imagine a lot of people smelling this candle and saying, wow, this smells like women's perfume, or like the perfume department at Macy's. And what would this smell of spring be without green? Fresh, sun-kissed, healthy, long braids of grass, not freshly cut grass. Any of you wheatgrass drinkers out there will know exactly what I mean. This is filled with a chlorophyll green aroma. And what's going to enhance that is a little bit of mossiness. Springtime, April showers. And I'm not going to suggest that the next things that I'm going to say are actually in this candle, but what this is making me think of: some spicy greens. Think of arugula, endive. Could even say like baby spinach. There's a vegetal component here too, in the form of sugar snap peas, because there is a little bit of sweetness to it. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say this is going to be a very popular candle. I think this is going to make a lot of folks happy, especially if your favorite season of the year is spring. Picture this, if you will. You know that day out of the year, it only happens once in the entire year, but you walk outside and you take a look around and there's just something different in the air. You know, the grass is greener, the sun is warmer, the saturated soil's throwing up these beautiful aromatics. The ground beneath your feet is actually warming up your toes, radiating all of that warmth. And then a gust of wind comes, swirls around, picks up all of those fragrances, and then it just cascades up against your nostrils. And then you say to yourself, ah, spring is here. Well, if you love that moment and you want to bottle that moment and recreate that moment anytime you want and as frequently as you want, this candle is going to help make that happen, because this smells like the very early stages of spring. With all of that wonderful, pleasant stuff that I just said about this candle, I want you to keep in mind that if you have a bad association with the spring, If you are burdened by the fresh grass and the pollen and the flowers here and here, if your sinuses can't take it and you're highly allergic, I can almost guarantee you this is not going to be a candle for you. So if you're not a fan of the spring, this is probably the last thing you're going to want to burn. However, if spring is your favorite season out of the year, this has the potential to be one of your favorites. And I'm projecting that this is going to be a very popular fragrance for Yankee Candle. And if you haven't seen my Aroma Prison episode, I'll put the link in the description below. It'll help illustrate the procedure that I'm going to perform. But summing it up real quick, essentially what I'm going to do is melt these tarts inside of these mason jars. So not only will we be able to evaluate the candles cold, but we'll also be able to evaluate the candles in their airborne or volatilized state as well. Tart mason jar, let's get this melted. Happy spring. I said nectarine before, and I still get that, but I'm getting a definitive lemon component, a very clean lemon zest. What I call the clean factor, it's giving it that lemon pledge clean scent. It's almost mimicking lemongrass. But the thing to really mention is the intensity. Borderline high intensity. I have a feeling this one is gonna have a pretty bold presence in your living space. No, always, I want to thank you folks for sticking with me, watching me, leaving wonderful feedback, comments, throwing so much positivity in my direction. I can't thank you enough. Please remember, if you want to help me out, thumbs up if you like the video. And if you haven't subscribed already, please think about doing that. I want to really see this audience grow and expand. Why? Because as this audience grows, we're going to have more credibility. We want to get to the nitty-gritty, really start asking questions, seeing if we can schedule interviews with the proprietors of candle companies. And the bigger this circle of candle enthusiasts gets, the more entry we're going to receive upon knocking on those doors. And I'll see you guys real soon.